There are many reasons why bike lanes are great if they're designed and used correctly. They provide safe pathways for ever-increasing numbers of cyclists. With more and more riders on the road, there are a lot of them. While bike lanes are significantly safer than sharing a road with cars, they still aren't perfect. One particular flaw is often fatal. Have you ever ridden your bike on a road without any other bikes? Such roads are intimidating and extremely dangerous. In spite of all your safety precautions, cars, trucks, and buses whiz by at furious speeds. Sometimes they are just inches away from you. Bicycle lanes are therefore one of the most important safety features on any street. According to a study published in the American Journal of Public Health in 2012, bike lanes reduce injury risks by 50% and protected bike lanes by 90%. These lanes protect cyclists and save lives. As cycling numbers rise globally, they are more important than ever. When it comes to bike lane design, city planners have 4 options: mixed traffic bike lanes, or sharrows, which are regular streets on which bikes can mix. In every street, there is a painted image of a bicycle that indicates where people should cycle more frequently even without markings. Almost every street qualifies under this category. Bike lanes without protection aren't much better. They don't separate a portion of the street for bicycle use only, and in some instances, that works. All right, there's no physical separation, and a lot of problems there. It's unsafe because drivers either don't understand or don't heed those bikeways. All right, then there are bike lanes that are protected. Bikers have exclusive access to these parts of the road, which are physically separated from traffic. On-street bike lanes are typically found between a curb and a row of parked cars. These are really what are needed, especially on busy roads and on a lot of the city streets. In addition, we have bike paths that separate completely from the street and are used for riding bikes. The Hudson River, Greenway, and Central Park Loop are within the scope of this candidate. They are hard to find in most cities, but you can find them in parks. Sometimes you can ride along old railway beds or along active rail lines. Sometimes, even the best designed bike lanes can cause damage. Dooring is one of the most common types. Bicyclists are often hit by cars opening their doors without checking for oncoming cyclists. While riding in a bike lane, there is a good chance that someone you know who rides a bike has experienced something like this. Drivers who drive too close to cyclists are also a concern. Unprotected bike lanes often give drivers the illusion of more space between themselves and the cyclist. But one of the main problems, and the most challenging for planners, is the infamous right hook should be positioned to the right. Cyclists in bike lanes approaching intersections have the right of way if the light is green, but things can get murky at intersections. Bicyclists travel parallel to flowing traffic, making right-hand turns often don't see cyclists approaching. The resulting collision can be especially harmful. Large trucks and bigger vehicles have blind spots and different turning radiuses, so they are more difficult to maneuver. Current location is New Orleans. There have certainly been some tragic vacations where right hooks have resulted in people being killed on bikes. Bicyclists need to pay attention to more than right-hand turns. In left-hand turns, especially on one-way streets, determining who's liable may be challenging. The following ground rules should be followed. Every bicycle rider on a sidewalk or crosswalk must be granted all of the rights and be subject to all of the duties applicable to pedestrians walking. If the biker is in a bike lane, who's responsible depends largely on who's in front. A cyclist riding next to or in front of a car has the right of way. The goal is to proceed through an intersection. In right hook accidents, the driver is at fault tragically when they pull ahead and begin turning. Right hook accidents can be fatal. Furthermore, if a car is driving in a protected lane and needs to make a sharp turn, then the car will move slower, and the biker is also separated from the car. There is a little more room, so the car is starting to turn and the driver can see the person. Rather than turning into this separation, along with the reduced speed of drivers, turning will provide a clear line of sight for incoming cyclists and reduce the rate of crashes at intersections. Another solution that is gaining popularity is redesigning intersections altogether by extending unprotected bike lanes around intersections. This concept connects unprotected bike lanes. To further increase safety, these extensions will have the same radius as the existing corner, allowing cars to turn without entering the parallel bike lane. Protective barriers can be added to make things clearer for all users, and paths and crossing areas can be marked to make them more visible increasing overall safety. Left side bike lanes are another potential solution. These lanes are designed to flow with traffic, which are located on the left side of one-way streets in new developments or in the median of two-way divided streets. They enable motorists to see cyclists better, reducing conflicts between motorists and cyclists. Now, most bus stops and loading zones are on the right side of the street, which reduces conflicts between buses and trucks. All right, maybe in a perfect world. Solution is simple. People should be prioritized on their streets over cars. What do you think about the dangers of cycling in the city? Feel safe out there. The city of New York has greatly invested in bike infrastructure, including 1,250 miles of bike lanes that are used daily by 510,000 cyclists. It could have been 500,000 cars or 250,000 cars with 2 people in each. Do you think Manhattan could handle another 250,000 cars a day? This investment, there's now 5 times the amount of New Yorkers biking on their daily commute compared to 1980. But we still have room for improvement in a city with over 8 million people, less than 800,000 adults. So they ride a bike at least several times a month. 100 of thousands of cars off the streets monthly, maybe millions. Not to mention the fitness of overweight people sitting behind the steering wheels of pollution-belching cars, getting healthier and living longer and better lives after cycling. Oh well, I have gone too far. Get on your bike and ride, and you are doing something for us all with slowing global warming at least. I will look for you on the bike lane.